Marconi.
I'm like if a body pillow was filled with warm mayonnaise.
Nick.
Yep, couldn't agree more.
Tiny.
I always had to sleep with one eye open, one butthole open, one ear open, all that.
Marconi, Nick, and Tiny.
Yes, Daddy.
Back together.
Take that, America.
Greetings, podcast compadres. It's Marconi, along with Nick and Tiny. This week, we're doing our best to give you something to distract yourself from the realities of the world. If you missed our previous episodes, make sure and check them all out at backtogetherpod.com. Follow us on Instagram at backtogetherpod and join our Back Together Facebook group. And now, without further ado, enjoy this week's episode. All right. Hi, I'm Marconi. Right over there is my pal Nick. He's the voice of reason, and he tells us he's an auto expert.
It lies.
And also, don't forget Tiny. He's a registered wet nurse turned physician.
What a contrast.
Yeah, it's a big leap.
Well, and I mean, at least Tiny is actually in the medical field. I mean, Dr. Phil just calls himself a doctor. Wasn't he like a gym coach or something?
Yeah, he did inventory for the socks for the gymnasium. He's the farthest thing from a doctor there could be.
Do you remember Dr. Laura, who used to give out their medical advice? She wasn't a doctor. She had a PhD in like rat physiology or something.
I mean, if she was a doctor, she really should have taken care of that, whatever that extra neck skin. To me, aging, that's my only hope, is that like I will be thick enough as I grow older that I will continue a robust husk. Because I don't want to have that loose, flabby white skin, you know?
Yeah, the giblet has got to
It's just disgusting.
Do you want to hear a secret?
Yes.
When my giblet started to show, I grew a beard. Ha! Take that, America.
I got double insurance. I'm gonna grow a beard and stay fat.
Giblet.
But Nick, tell me that you don't have a giblet.
Oh, when it started,
Like you don't have
when it started,
ball sack skin on your neck.
yeah, when it started, because I was getting a little bit of a chin giblet. When the giblet started, that's when I grew a beard. I was like, dude, I'm covering that up. Either it's a face tattoo or a beard. And I went for the one that was less painful.
Has anything exciting happened in the past week that we may have missed in your lives? Like, Andy, what's going on with you?
I had a patient explain to me why he tested positive for methamphetamines in his urine drug screen. So I told him that he tested positive and that he wasn't getting, that he wasn't getting pain meds today. And he called back 20 minutes later and said, I thought about it for how that could have happened. And I was playing poker yesterday or a couple days ago, and my friend's daughter made a blueberry pie, and instead of putting sugar on top, she put meth crystals on top. I said, sir,
As you do.
first of all, that's disrespectful to blueberry pie. Second, if that's the case, if that's what we're doing now, I would be skinny. So, no.
It's blueberry pie and lies, sir. No drugs for you.
I was super pissed he'd do that to blueberry pie. What the hell did blueberry pie do to you? Ain't nobody putting $1,000 worth of methamphetamine on top of a blueberry pie and eating it. Get the out of here.
Right. Nick, what about you? What's going on with you?
I have been test driving some of the world's most sexiest convertibles this week.
You said that there was issues because you get these convertibles for like 24 hours, 48 hours. And if it rains, it's very difficult for you to film, right?
I had to beg for an extra day, which is today. So right after this broadcast finishes, I'll be getting out there and doing some filming with my top off.
We all have weird stuff with our families. And I have a really weird family in a lot of ways.
Yep, couldn't agree more.
One of my sisters was mad at a bunch of us in a group chat and mentioned a bunch of things that she thought would upset us. And we're like, well, yeah, couldn't agree more.
Yep, couldn't agree
Right,
more.
Nick? But one of the things she said is like, listen, brother, because I'm her only brother. She, like the Hulk or something. Listen, brother. She told me that the radio thing has gone on long enough. Time to settle down and get a real job.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Couldn't agree more.
What?
Right, yeah. And I don't know where that came from. I don't know what's going on there, but I thought, well, there's not anything that I could do.
You could
Like what?
you could serve lunches in a school cafeteria.
Right, yeah, right. There you go.
You could be Andy's personal medical assistant.
Oh yeah, you know what? There's since I retired as a wet nurse, we got an opening.
There's two jobs and we've only been here a few seconds.
Well, I was always fascinated with Muppetry as a child. So maybe I could take that on. head
Yeah,
first.
no, you're good at that. You had your hand up my those
Yep,
years when
there
we were
you
in
go.
radio.
That's all. Putting your hand up
Nick, what do
animals'
you
backsides. Yep, couldn't agree more.
Well, so I don't know. It's like one of those things in life. Like, Nick, how did you go? Because you'd only done really radio when I knew you. Then you transformed into a television guy. You did what was your title? It was creative director.
Creative for
the CW?
Yes, the creative services manager.
And then you branched off and did your own thing here with the cars. But
I'm an automotive expert.
right? And so you've turned that into something. Andy branched off and went into the medical field and is having success there and seeing more buttholes than he ever dreamed of.
Oh man, this is a pleasure.
So, but I have a background in emergency medicine too. I did that for many years when I was trying to get into radio.
Jeez.
So
you guys are way more skilled than I am. I have nothing. I mean, I can maybe do some half-assed graphic design. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I don't really
couldn't agree
understand.
more.
Why don't you become a secret shopper?
What does that entail?
You secretly shop. So like the Gap would employ you to go, hey, go buy some Gap clothes at this mall and see how your experience is.
Would I have to try on pants a lot? Because I'm not really into that.
Oh, like every day.
I could fake it though, right? Because I'm not really. Because they just give you an allotment of money and then you just go in. I wouldn't actually have to keep the clothes if I didn't want them.
Yeah, no, I would keep them and return them and keep that money too.
Yep, couldn't agree more.
Well, it looks like I know what I'm going to be doing. What do you do, sir? Well, I'm a professional at trying on pants.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Paid to try on pants.
Can you imagine? That's enough. You could put that on a card and everything.
Yeah, but you know what the problem with that is, right? You ever tried on pants which are too small, and then you have trouble getting them off again, and they hurt you.
Nick, believe me, 99% of all pants are too small.
Right. So
unless I get that brand, the Great Northwest.
big dog pants.
Why do you know that?
Big dog pants.
I feel personally attacked right now.
What do you guys think in the last decade? Now, you don't have to choose these, but my thoughts are best inventions in the last decade, like a smart TV, smart speakers, iPad, the Ring doorbell, GPS, 3D printers. What is the best invention in the last decade in your mind?
Pornhub.
It's probably older than a decade.
I feel like Pornhub, though, really is because I don't understand. Can you explain this to me, Andy? Pornhub Premium, they're giving it away for free during the quarantine or whatever. What's the difference between that and regular Pornhub? Is it just longer clips?
Well, let me tell you. The difference is you don't get ads. You know, like when you're switching between videos, it has do you want to continue to the video? Yeah, of course I want to continue to the video. So you don't have to continue to the video anymore. You have faster access to the newer uploaded videos, and you can also for free get a certain amount of access, if not all access, to their 4K videos.
Oh.
So that way you can count the ingrown hairs.
Because some people at one point they're paying like $6 or $7 a month for that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, if I had my my own place that I and I was single, so if I had my own place and I was single and I was about that Pornhub life, then it would be worth it because I would have, porn in 4K at my house, and it would, of course I'd rather watch that. That'd be great, of course. Now,
The thing I always find interesting is like the long porn videos, because what do you need that? I mean, who needs a 30-minute, 45-minute porn video?
Well, I'm that guy. Can I tell you why? I've been waiting for this to come up, and it just so happens that you just did it. So here we go. So where do I start? So for the last, I hope everyone grab a snack. 3 years ago is when some bad stuff happened to my parents, right? And I moved in with them and I took care of them.
Right.
Well, I could only watch porn silently in my room, or I would have to have headphones in and one headphone out in case I had to come out of retirement and be a wet nurse for my dad. You know what I mean? So I always had to sleep with one eye open, one butthole open, one ear open, all that. So now that I'm by myself, I just don't want to get into, I'm no longer fast forwarding to the P and the V. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying the content. These guys really put in effort in their acting. Like, there's some of these scenarios I've really believed. I've felt for that lady who broke down in a parking lot and needed to have sex to get her way home. I believe her.
And are you also enjoying the interior decoration of some of these apartments and stuff?
Oh, it's gaudy. Some of these people really need to look at the IKEA summer book. I feel for the actors and for the guys, like, oh, the guys have to play dumb, but they're probably really smart. They probably have a bachelor's degree, but they could only get out of school working $12 an hour. So, you got to do what you got to do. If I went to school and got a bachelor's degree in business and then all of a sudden I was forced to become an actor, they're doing good with the cards they were dealt.
I feel like the porn industry is the one thing that actually brings people together, or not together, if you know what I mean. Like, they're helping people in ways that you really isn't talked about, that is probably helping people keep their sanity. So I feel in a lot of ways they're the glue that keeps this country together. Did I just say glue?
You did.
And porn?
You did.
I mean, you know what I meant, though, right?
Yep, couldn't agree more.
Do either of you guys have an Instapot?
Yes, and I'm afraid of it. And I've used it once.
What?
You're doing you're doing pressure cooking in your kitchen. If you up, that is a big mess up. You're pressure cooking and it's right next to your face. I don't want any part of that.
Well, can you stand back while it's doing its thing? Or?
Well, I mean, I could, but I don't really. I want to see what's happening to the food. What are you doing, Instapot, to my food to make this happen so much quicker?
So you tried it once, and was the result to your liking? Did you enjoy it?
It was fantastic. It worked out swimmingly. It was great, but I'm scared as.
So, well, maybe if you do it a few more times, the fear will dissipate.
I don't know, man. I might. I mean, I trapped myself. I didn't buy anything in my refrigerator or cabinets that are like good food. You know when you get pissed off and you're hungry and all you have a lot of food in your house, but you have to cook it all. That's what I have.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
But Nick, now I don't understand what is. Because people always talk about the Instapot. 3 minutes.
It's a pressure cooker, or an Instapot can be a rice cooker, a pressure cooker, a broiler. It's electric, so it plugs into a socket, and then it has different programs on it. But the difference between that and like a slow cooker is this actually has the pressure component, and you can, some people make rice in them, some people make stews in them, some people use them as slow cookers. You can cook a whole chicken in like 12 minutes. So it's just everything is Insta.
So now I guess the Instapot has a special lid that can turn it into an air fryer. Now, the air fryer is a whole other thing, right?
Yeah, so air fryer uses like a teaspoon of oil and then tosses the food around with really hot air. And so it works similarly to a deep fat fryer in the right circumstances, but without the fat.
Okay, so like it's healthy and that kind of thing.
Yep, couldn't agree more. Healthy and that. And that.
What I'm saying is I see all these things and people have like these toaster ovens. I don't understand, like, what's wrong with the actual oven? Is it just time? Because you can do all these things in the oven within an hour usually or less.
Yep, couldn't agree
So
more.
are all these things... So, but what's the deal? Is it just to get you to buy another gadget?
Now
Is it worth
you're thinking.
the money?
They'll do anything to get you to buy more kitchen gadgets to take up your counters.
But Andy says he loved it, and the food was delicious, and it was like almost instantaneous, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So I was just looking at this, and I'm like, well, if I was going to get an Instapot, I would have to get the air fryer lid, right? I mean, why if it exists, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a no-brainer.
Yep, couldn't agree more.
So we thought we'd do a little game called Ask Andy, where we ask Andy random trivia questions. Andy, you answer to the best of your ability, and then we'll guess if your answer is correct or not, and then we'll see the answer.
I just want to...
Does that sound fun?
Yeah, but can I say something first?
Yes, of course.
I just need you guys to know that no matter your best of efforts, I'm going to win. All of them are already right.
Nothing we can do will thwart
No,
you.
all my answers are already right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Ask Andy. Yay!
Hello, Andrew. Welcome to the show. Your topics for today are arts, history, geography, general knowledge, entertainment, or science. Which do you choose, Andy?
How about science?
All right, here is your science question for the day. A jellyfish is made up of 95% of what?
Jelly.
Uh, we-
I believe that the jellyfish is made up of 95% jelly.
How could that be wrong? I'm going to say yes. Jelly. Final answer.
See?
the answer is...
Jelly.
All right, wait. I clicked on it. It went to another question. It's,
So we're just going to have to, by default, Andy's
Ding,
correct.
ding,
We
ding,
win.
ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding.
the answer is actually water, I think.
No, it's not. The answer is in the question.
It's water.
You have no proof of that.
Yeah.
Well, they may give us the question them at the end.
Choose your next category: history, general, or science.
History.
All right. What is Henry Kissinger's actual first name?
Charles.
What is Henry Kissinger's? Charles? Nick, do you think he's
Wrong.
right?
Everybody knows
Wrong.
it's Kissy Kissinger.
The answer is Heinz.
No!
Well, I'm sorry, Andy. You had to get one wrong, but that doesn't mean you're out yet. There's still more questions ahead. Nick?
Andrew, you can choose between arts, geography, history, entertainment, science, or general knowledge.
General knowledge,
General
please.
knowledge. How many players are in a polo team?
Oh, just the one guy on the shirts. The one dude. Two. Him and a goalie.
Marconi, do you think it is two members of a polo team?
I don't know. I think it's more.
There's only one on the
I
shirt.
think
There's
that
only
there's-
one on the shirt. If there was 10, there'd be 10.
He's technically right when you're talking about the shirt, but for the actual game, I think there's more than two.
4.
Yeah, that makes sense. They need.
Sorry, Andy. I didn't mean to.
No, I get it. They need room for the horses.
All right, Andy. A question category: general, entertainment, or arts.
Oh, arts all day. I'm artsy and classy as a mother.
What does the touch of Midas turn everything into?
Ooh.
Come on, this is easy.
The touch
He's
of
got
Midas?
the Midas touch.
The Midas.
I don't.
Touch.
Come
Everything
on.
to
It's an
touch, it
ancient
turns to-
religious story, a biblical story.
Candy.
Midas touched something and it turned into what?
Candy.
No.
Everything he touches turns
Gold.
to
Gold.
gold. Is correct.
Ding, ding, ding,
He
ding,
said,
ding, ding, ding.
he said candy.
That's gold to fat people.
Well, but then but when we
Fat people.
Same.
All right, Andy, you have 5 categories left. You want arts, geography, history, or entertainment.
Entertainment, baby.
What does the J stand?
go
What
into
does
it.
the J stand for in Michael J. Fox's name?
Jittery.
Oh, dude, too soon. Too soon.
You know what I'm saying?
I love Michael J. Fox, especially his episode on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Those were great.
Jittery.
I know it's. I want to say John. but
I think it's John
I'm
or
not
James.
sure. Jay is.
It's nothing.
Oh, he made it up because of
Yeah,
SAG,
yeah.
probably, because
There you go.
they have to have their. Oh, okay. There you go. Well, maybe he'll consider Andy's choice down the road. I don't know. The next category: entertainment, general, or science.
Oh, let's go back. Let's revisit science.
In which continent did turkeys originate?
Yeah. I'm glad this is a legit question.
In which continent did turkeys originate?
You know what? I think that's an American-made animal. I'm gonna say
North America.
North America, yeah.
I think he's wrong.
You
Nick?
think they came from
Andy, what's your final answer?
where? No, I'm changing my answer because
No.
again, the answer is in the question. You guys ever heard of a place called Turkey?
So that wouldn't be a continent, would it? Europe would be the continent.
Europe.
But Turkey is the only country which is in Europe and also in Asia. So you could say Europe or Asia and you'd still be correct.
The far left
If it
side
was
of the
Turkey.
map. The place where
No.
the far left side of the map is.
That's the Middle East.
Europe. Final answer.
Nick, what do you think it
South
is?
America?
You're both incorrect. Andy, you were correct when you began. North America was
See,
correct.
I knew it. I knew that was an American-made animal.
Right, yeah, but it's in the apparently the answer is in the name.
Do you want to do another one?
Yeah.
Who succeeded Tom Brokaw as anchor on NBC's Nightly News in 2004?
Nick Miles. No, that one dude who's like the epitome of a generic. Like if you're making a video game, it starts out as this guy. It's the most generic white dude. Isn't it like Brian Robinson or something? Like I can just see that. I can see it now. Like dun 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 Nightly News with the whitest guy in America, Brian Johnson.
Nick, what say you?
It was Brian something, but it wasn't Johnson, was it? But I say he's wrong.
And he's no longer there. And do you remember why?
Yeah, he said some dumbass stuff, didn't he? He talked sideways. He thought
He had a
could,
fight with Trump, didn't he?
like he thought that he could fill Tom Brokaw's shoes and got all comfortable and said something out the side of his neck. And then now guess who's not on the TV anymore? Brian Johnson.
It's Brian Williams.
I knew it.
And he's now on MSNBC. And I believe he lied about something to do
He inflated
with
a Trump story.
being involved in a. It was a Trump story or a story about being in combat and he wasn't there or something like that.
He embellished.
Yes, he embellished the story. But he's now at MSNBC. And do you know who his daughter is?
Ooh.
Vanessa Williams.
She from Girls.
Wait a minute. The waitress one? Is that the one where they both
see if
work
I
at a
can find her
diner?
name.
Oh, two broke girls he's talking about.
What's the difference?
Allison Williams is her name, and she played Marnie on Girls. Girls is the HBO series.
Oh. They made a big
with Lena Dunham.
The Stupid Girls TV show or the Broke Girls made it to HBO? Am I thinking
You're
about
thinking
the wrong
two
person?
broke girls, which is a complete girl.
You know what? I'll tell you right now, I'd rather have two broke than one successful one. You know what I'm saying? All day long, dude. All day.
We've learned a lot during this podcast. I'm not really sure what. We'll figure it out. Nick, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, I'd just like to say, though, I couldn't agree with you more.
Thank you. Andy, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I've been waiting for this moment. I feel like the way the world is, if you considered your stance on marijuana to be negative, I beg of you to eat an edible and think about it, because if everyone just kind of got just a little high, not like, hold on to the grass, keep on falling off from the earth high, but just a little high, I think everything would be way more kosher. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I don't Nick, what do you think about that?
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
Marconi, Nick, and Tiny. Back together. Find full episodes everywhere you get your podcasts at backtogetherpod.com.